Did BLINK-182 use autotune live? Yes, they did. So stick around to the end of this video because I'm gonna show you how they used it and why it went wrong. Let me start off by saying that I'm a big BLINK-182 fan, right? Anyone that follows this channel knows this. So you can imagine how excited I was when I found out that Tom was back. You know, Skiba was fine, but we all knew deep inside that we were all longing for something. Did you get it? The longing? I gotta stop with these dad jokes, man. So I was super happy to wake up one day and find out that we're gonna play Coachella live, that it was gonna be streamed live right here on YouTube. So I saved the time, right? I put it in my schedule. I was gonna watch it. I was gonna sit down and watch the whole thing. The 3 original members, we don't count Scott, right? The 3 original members finally back playing live. Tom Delonge, Mark Hoppus, and Travis Kardashian. This was gonna be so amazing. So their set starts, right? And it's going strong. The set's sounding good. The jokes are kind of awkward in the beginning, but then it starts heating up. And I gotta say, I really appreciate the Dalai Lama kissing booth joke. That made me feel like I'm back in the 90s watching Blink live again. But then I suddenly noticed there was something different about this Blink, the new Blink. They were so in tune. They were singing so well. Like they go right into feeling this, right? And they're nailing the chorus harmonies. And it was just like, what's going on? This is so good. Julian, you've been watching Blink since the 90s. You know they don't hit harmonies live. They're always a little bit out of tune. They're not known for their vocal performances live, right? And that's when I heard it. The sound. The famous sound of autotune. Struggling. Autotune really got better with the years, but it never got rid of that traditional autotune sound. It's a bit squeaky, wobbly, almost duck-like. So I heard that sound and I started getting suspicious, like, could it be? Blink are a pop-punk band. Are they using autotune live? I know it's unavoidable on records nowadays, right? But live, would you do this to me? Would you fool me like this on a live set? And that's when it came. First date. The prophecy was about to become reality. Something went wrong and autotune took over. Now, I wish I could show you better examples of this, but Coachella has been really going hard on copyright strikes on YouTube. So I'll try to show you small clips, and I gotta remind you guys at YouTube that this video is done with educational purposes in mind. Please don't take me down. So the first disaster happened in the word honest. Honest. You almost can hear it because it's noisy and loud, but you can hear it. It's too in tune and it has that squeaky auto-tune sound to it. Honest. Is this sound. Honest. It is this sound. Then the wobble started. This night lasts forever. It does this in the middle of the song. I couldn't believe it. Here's another one. This one goes like this. Ever. It's just so crazy. And the final nail in the coffin was when the song ended and Tom started talking. Autotune was still on and he became full-on Autotune Jesus. Hey, Mark, you're doing so fucking good. He literally goes, hey, Mark, you're doing so fucking good. I have too much fun with autotune, I'm sorry. So that was it. Conspiracy theory confirmed. And that was not one in Tom DeLonge's favor. But what happened? Well, I can explain that to you. You see, Blink was probably using a live DAW to do the live set and to control everything. I use Ableton, they probably use Pro Tools, cause that's what the big boys do, you know? So here in my Ableton, this is a simplified version of the live set and how it would look like. You see, I only got 3 songs here, but it's enough for demonstrating purposes, really. So you got all of the members of the band here, so Tom DeLonge's voice, Mark Hoppus' voice, guitars, bass, drums, and backing tracks. Yes, Blink does use backing tracks live nowadays as well. Every song gets a scene, and when you trigger these scenes, a bunch of things happen. They start to click in the band's ears, so that way they can know they're on time with each other, with the backing tracks, with the live effects and everything else. And they also start the backing tracks. And these clips here on each of the tracks are something that I personally call dummy clips, and they're clips full of automation. They can control effects, they can control vocal effects, guitar effects, they can control even the lights sometimes, which is pretty amazing. So really nowadays, when most bands are playing with Pro Tools Live or Ableton, there's so many things happening inside the computer that helps the set become much larger than life, really. Like even the mix can be automated, everything can be automated, and that's why live sets are more and more sounding like albums, which can be good or bad. I preferred when bands just had to play things really and figure out how to make their songs sound live without any technology. But I also like setting up live sets, so I don't know, I guess I'm happy anyways. And of course, one of the things that these dummy clips do is automate the autotune, which is very relevant to our video, right? You can tell autotune every time you trigger one of these scenes, one of these songs, right? You can tell on which key autotune should be. That way the singers are always in the right key of the song. So if we open Tom's Auto-Tune here, check this out. If I trigger Rock Show up here, it changes to A major. If I trigger Feeling This, it changes to E major. That way Auto-Tune is always in the right key for every song, which is pretty awesome if you're gonna use Auto-Tune live. But if you look at the screen here, you can check my settings. These are the settings that I roughly use for every song when I'm singing live or recording through Auto-Tune. I have the retune speed quite slow because I want to avoid the wobbles. I have flex tune a little bit up because that allows me to be a little bit out of key sometimes and make me sound more human, more natural. And also, of course, the humanize up 50% to make me sound even less like a robot. And that's probably how Blink's Auto-Tune was set up for most of their gig. You know, you couldn't really hear it. I could hear it because I work in music, right? So I hear Auto-Tune all the time. But if you're there, you can't really hear it. You're gonna just have an awesome time and think they're in tune. But when the engineer triggered First State, I believe there was something wrong in the automation of that song. So check this out. As soon as he triggered the song, Auto-Tune probably just reset like this. The automation was wrong and it went into some extreme setting, right? And then this happens. Everything that you say, everything that you sing is obviously Auto-Tune, and you can hear the slides and the wobbles and the squeaky sound all very clearly. Auto-Tune just took over. Now, I know I've been dramatic throughout this video, right? But you need some drama on YouTube, right? That's what makes it run. But I'm not one to judge people that use Auto-Tune though, because I gotta admit it, and I can't believe that I'm doing this, but I have used Auto-Tune myself. Never live though. Using it live, I find it to be quite cheeky. But most of the pop bands do it nowadays, and the rock bands are starting to do it as well. It's just, it is what it is, you know. I used it mostly when I'm writing songs because I work as a songwriter a lot of the times and I have to turn out songs super fast. I'm not the best singer, so I just record through Auto-Tune to help me a little bit go faster. And I believe that it is justified if you're a really good songwriter or a really good musician and you just want to sing and you're struggling, like you've learned so many things already and now you gotta learn how to sing super in tune as well. Maybe just to convey the song as best as it can be conveyed. It's alright to use Auto-Tune, you know? I think of Auto-Tune like plastic water bottles, pretty much. You shouldn't use them, but they're just so damn convenient, right? Auto-Tune is here to stay. Love it or hate it. I myself always hated that Blink was kind of out of tune live. I really hoped that they would hit the harmonies a little bit better. And to be honest, as long as it doesn't go extreme again, I'm fine with it. I kind of rather they use auto-tune live, really. Mark and Tom, they're around their 50s, right? They're not gonna learn how to sing now, so it's better to just use auto-tune to give you the last little push to the right notes. So yes, Blink, you have my blessing to use auto-tune live. But if you need help setting it up, please don't hesitate to call me, okay? I would gladly help, because I love you. Really, I do. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a bit different from what I usually do here. Usually I do a lot of tutorials on Ableton or making punk rock or writing songs, but I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please press all the buttons around me in this world that help me right now, and I see you all next time. Thank you and bye.